Hello, my name is Bob Millar, and I am a board advisor for a company called RoadMap, which has an exciting educational solution to help solve one of the most basic problems that challenge parents, students, and administrators in the school environment. As an example, how many of you out there have had one big question, either as a student or as a parent? What do you want to be when you grow up? It's pretty scary. With technology the way it is and the economy the way it is, it's hard for young men and women growing up, even as early as fifth grade, that don't have any idea of exactly what they want to do with their life. And it's always good to start sooner rather than later. The basic question is, what solutions out there can help me with college being $30,000 to $70,000 per year? And if you have more than one child, that starts to become a big question. How am I going to pay for that? And how am I going to give my sons and daughters the opportunity to get the best education, the best opportunity in life? So let me explain a little bit about the RoadMap Interactive Career Finder service. It starts out with a scientific approach, and this did not happen overnight. This took several years and is Burroughs Institute approved for scientific validity in an education space. The student will sit down and go to a web browser-based solution called RoadMap Interactive Career Finder, and we'll be able to answer 144 questions, yes or no, of things that they like or dislike. So at the end of answering these 144 questions, it will take that information and boil it down to one general area of study, two, a more specific area of study, and most importantly, number three, we'll start to narrow it down to actual careers. Everything you need to know about that career to get started, so that you can start to look as a student with a parent or a guidance counselor, as to what you might be interested in based in a career based upon the answers to the 144 scientific questions. As an example, you may determine that you might have an interest in being a civil engineer. Well, when you download a PDF document that has everything you need to know about civil engineering, you're going to see up to 4 pages of information such as, this is what a civil engineer does. This is the work environment that they spend most of their time in. These are the academic requirements. These are the continuing education requirements. This is what I can expect to earn in that type of career. And this is refreshed every 3 months. And then there's other information, references and other places you can even go even deeper. But it's a great start. Why is this important? Because career guidance counselors, as much as they like to help, they don't have this type of tool at their disposal. This helps them to have a frame of reference to sit down with a student and talk about the different careers. It's as simple as saying to a student in the school, sit down in front of the computer, answer the 144 questions, find some careers that you might be interested in, print them out, and we can talk about them at another time, perhaps sometime later in the week. Or they can go home with a username and password and be able to do the same thing and come back to school. But once the career guidance counselor has that idea of what the student has a career, they have a basis to have a reasonable conversation. For instance, let's take a look at your grades. You want to be a civil engineer, but you're getting B's in math. I'm going to suggest to you as a guidance counselor, you may want to get a tutor to get that B up to an A before you start the next year's math. The second thing, I might notice that you're not taking enough math. You're not going to have calculus before you finish school. This would be a good time for you to start planning to get that calculus before you start college, because most students already have had high school calculus before they enter college, especially in an engineering discipline. Number three, I might need to know something about your family background. This is where it gets tricky, because without your parents saying it's okay, I can't ask you questions about financial situations, such as how are you going to pay for $30,000 to $70,000 a year, and how many other children are behind you that the money they spend with you is going to affect them. And then, of course, as a guidance counselor, I may not know a lot about services out there that, for a little bit of money, will come back and, for instance, come back with 5 schools that I can afford. Some really great ones, some safety schools, and perhaps, a rural reach school. Fantastic one. And maybe there's grant money, scholarships, etc. So I'm not trained to do that. But the beautiful part of RoadMap Interactive Career Finder service is the starting point, is that's where it identifies these things. It's a very cost-effective way to get you started. And this is offered not only to the schools, but also as a consumer product. So if your school is not in a position to get licenses for you to do this, that RoadMap Interactive Career Finder service can be found on their website. And for $24.95, a parent can take life into their own hands and get started in the process. And those optional services that they offer, such as a virtual guidance counselor if the school doesn't have one, or to provide a virtual person from RoadMap who is a professional in this career guidance area, can help train career guidance counselors virtually to help them get a better handle on how to answer these tough questions. And imagine services that go from there, such as being able to have a virtual meeting between the parent and the student and the guidance counselor during school hours, perhaps. If that doesn't work, there's always the career guidance counselor who's an option from RoadMap. So, as you can see, this is a practical way to approach how to do career guidance, because most people don't know a lot and know all the things you need to know before you get started. In most schools, it's a gap, not because they want to do it that way, but because it just is. So here is a start to start moving our young men and women, giving them a competitive advantage in life, and making the United States of America more competitive, because our workforce is more well-trained and they're picking the right careers. The last thing you want to do, if it's $30,000 to $70,000 per year for college, is to, 1, pick the wrong career. Because once you hit the 5-year plan, you change your major, you're on the 5-year plan. That's another $30,000 to $70,000 that will affect other children in your family. Could put a financial hardship on your family's future education for your young ones. The second is picking the wrong school. And that's where professionals can help to match the interest of a student and their capabilities with the right environment. And, of course, one thing that's good about virtual technologies is this website from RoadMap is really a social and business networking portal, because there are how to get internships, links to other sites and technologies where you can look at colleges and universities virtually, because it's even expensive to drive, get on planes, hotel rooms. You have no idea if you've not gone through this before. So I'm here trying to answer questions for you up front, help you to steer through it. And if you have any questions, my name is Bob Millar. I'm board advisor for RoadMap. You can reach me at 973-960-9790. That's 973-960-9790. And hope you're having a great day, and look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Bye-bye.